Adam from Paintbox here, and on this episode, I'm going to take you through creating an exterior estimate. If you have not done so, create an exterior template, and you can watch those videos as well to guide you through that. So we're going to start by creating an estimate, going down to our exterior painting template, and from there, we will get started. So first things first, we're going to add a contact. We can either add a new contact or an existing contact. We can search our contacts and select the contact here. Next up, we have our production rates. These are going to be the values established by the template. So first things first, up top, we will see per square foot, which breaks down the total per square foot. And next, we'll see the total of these production rates. This is not the total of the entire estimate, but yet just the production rates here. So, surface square feet. We have a nice calculator to make this super easy. I do suggest getting a laser measuring tool and a wheel measuring tool. This is going to come in handy when measuring the surfaces. So let's go to our calculator. Say we're doing a 2-story suburban home and we're taking measurements. So measuring one side, probably about 24 by 18 and so on and so forth. So add all your measurements in for any of the surface area that will be painted. And remember the PCA or Painting Contractors Association rules. If a area is larger than 10 by 10, you will subtract that from the surface area. If not, if it's say a standard size window, 2 or 3 feet by 4 feet, you include that in the surface area. Now we're going to save that, and it's going to save to our square footage here. Next up, we have our percentage-based values. And I kind of touched on this when we were creating templates, but let's take a look a little deeper. So color increase. For every color over one color, it is going to be more difficult to paint that house or unit. So we're going to increase per color increase. Say we have 3 colors, that's an increase of 2 colors from just using 1 color. You can see our square footage amount went up to 78 cents. That's because our value of color increase is 2, making that a 20% increase from our base rate. Now, next up, we have condition. I like to think of this as a 1 to 10 scale. So how much of that surface actually needs to be prepped? Is it 20%? Is it 40%? Is it 60%? And so on and so forth. So if 40% of the surface needs to be prepped, we're going to put this at a 4. You can yet again see our surface square footage go up. So that's saying that now we're going to be paying, or we're going to be charging $1.04 per square footage. Now let's say this house is on a slope. We're going to increase that rate again. It's a very steep slope. We're going to increase it again. And this can also work with, say, different textures. A smooth surface is going to be an increase of 0. Whereas a very rough surface may be an increase of 40 to 50%. So say you're painting brick versus like a hardy board or something like that, and it's a very rough brick. You're going to have to get in there and you're going to have to work for it. So you're going to add 0% for a smooth surface, 10% for a lightly textured surface, 20% for a medium, 30% for a heavily textured surface, and about 40 to 50% for a very rough surface. Now, getting into counts. So these are going to be broken down in alphabetical order. So we're going to go around and count all our doors. And depending on how you want to set these up, if it's for painting that door or just painting the trim around it, that's up to you. And you can always modify these rates in your template settings. So let's go around. This house has three doors. It has a garage door, and we're painting some shutters. So on the front of this house, we have 6 shutters. Trim and gutters. Now, I added this in as a linear foot value. So I want to actually go around and measure all the trim and gutters that I'm going to do, because I add this as a separate value. You know, another option would be to add it in as the color increase, because typically when you're doing maybe 2 colors for a residential home, the trim and gutters are going to be the second color. So the color increase can actually account for that trim. And like I said, the other way to do this is to use trim and gutters as a separate count for linear feet. Now, you can add in other values such as window sashes, windows trim, however you want to line those out. A lot of times, you know, I wasn't painting sashes because the homes I was doing actually had vinyl windows, you know, so we just masked those off and painted the window trim. So per window, masking that off and painting it, you're looking at about $60 per window. So I'd go around and count those out, say this house had 15 of those, and go ahead and save that. That will break down all your production rates in a nice little clean package. And this is going to be more similar to what the customer is actually going to view. Now, if we want to add specific line items, we can do that. We can add one-off line items. We can add taxes that we have configured in our settings, and even save that to the line items to use next time. Now, if you have line items already preset, which I definitely recommend, you know, refining your scope of work, what you are going to do and what you are not going to do, and have these items preset before you even estimate. You can add any of these just quickly and easily. Say I'm going to add another 4 hours on to do miscellaneous work. So easy. And next up is going to be your products. There is a quick paint calculator where it gives you the total square footage that you had entered before, and you can adjust any of these items to give you how much you're going to need to buy. Now, same as labor, you can add your own products, one-offs, or, you know, I have this list: 1050 QD caulking, emerald paint, frog tape, so on and so forth, that I can quickly just toggle how many units I need. Now, say we're going to need a dozen caulking, and we'll go in here. We're using duration. I got this at $55 a gallon, most likely pretty low for that price, but we'll say we need 10 gallons for this specific house. I know these numbers aren't accurate based on the square footage that I plugged in, but just an example. Now, if you uploaded your documents in your settings, you'll be able to select which documents you want to use. Next up, you can add notes for the client, and you can also add photos. You're going to want to select how many days that estimate is valid for. You can add a discount or a deposit as well. Now, you can always toggle these discounts and deposits from percent or dollar value to make that easy. So once we go ahead and save our estimate, you will see that under drafted estimates here. You'll also be able to navigate to your estimates and go to drafts or all and view that estimate. So let's take a look at it. So if we click on the estimate, we're going to see the breakdown of the actual pricing. This is what the client is going to see. So you can see some of the details about this, who it's created for, your logo up in the corner, and a nice breakdown for the client to take a look at. On the actual estimate page, you'll be able to send this estimate. You can use a blank email and send it as a text, or use one of your templates, your email templates that you had set up in settings, making it super easy to send this guy out. Now, you can update the status of the estimate pending accepted, complete, or canceled. You can view your contact details for that specific client. You can also see how many invoices and estimates, and actually view all those estimates for that client. Now, back on the estimate details page, you can view the notes for that client. You can add notes here. You can see your photos. You can see if there is a signature attached to that estimate as well. Now, let's go ahead and copy this URL. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in here. This is going to be what your client views. I just got the notification on my phone there that it had been opened, and taking a look at this, you have all your contact information, how much the estimated total is. The homeowner can approve that with a signature. They can download the estimate as a PDF form. They can view all the documents. They can also take a look at all your Yelp reviews if you do have those. If you do have your Yelp account linked to your Paintbox account. Now here's the breakdown of the estimate, and if there's any photos, they'll be able to view that just below that estimate. That's it. Super quick and easy to create your estimates and get those out to your clients. And you can see, since we had opened the estimate, it had gone from draft to pending. And that's going to be the state between this getting accepted and getting approved. So quick and easy, just a quick breakdown on how to create estimates and how you view those. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.